On today's DNVR Broncos podcast, we are breaking down the second to last training camp practice for the Broncos. And Bo Nix had a bounce back practice today. Plus, we're diving into the important things you need to know from Kay Adams' interviews with the Broncos. It all starts now. About a Bo-nection on today's DNVR Broncos podcast. Don't look at me. Look at Dion for that creativity or the judgment from Henry over here. And we're going to do it in the Toyota Lounge, driven by your local Front Range Toyota stores. Ryan Koenigsberg to my left, Henry Chisholm to my right. We've got Dion behind the camera and Zac Stevens rocking and rolling with you today. It's another hot one, almost 100 degrees. It really feels like training camp now. The crazy thing is, you look down at the calendar, this is the second to last training camp practice. In fact, this is the last training camp practice for the Broncos that they're going to have without another team in town. It's crazy. Time is flying by.
Time does fly by. I will say I looked at the thermometer today and was worried about you guys, knowing that you were hot yesterday when it was 12 degrees cooler.
So you're going to join us tomorrow? Because I believe it's the same temperature tomorrow.
I'm planning to join you tomorrow.
Good. Don't wear clothes. Or don't wear many clothes.
Wow. All right. I'm not going to say that. I won't.
Good. Aaron Gordon was at Broncos practice today. Same with Payton Watson. And Aaron Gordon was wearing a long sleeve shirt. I'm like, how are you doing this?
Yeah, long sleeves actually won't affect you as much as you think.
As long as it's not humid.
That's just absolutely diabolically crazy take. Yes, it will.
I don't think so. Because it gets you out of the sun. So like all of a sudden you don't like the sun
directly off.
Henry, were you hot today?
Yeah.
Henry, we were standing in the shade the whole time and we were still hot.
Well, not
now
the whole
you
time.
add long sleeves to that equation. It's only going to make you hotter.
There are people that would argue opposite. I'll never forget when John Embry was the coach of the Buffs. He wore a hoodie every single day at practice if it wasn't long sleeves. I thought was crazy. Because that's designed to keep you warm.
Yes.
Long sleeve shirt is just a longer sleeve shirt.
That's designed to keep you a little bit warmer than a short sleeve shirt.
Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't do it personally, but.
So yeah, short sleeves tomorrow. Bring them out. And Broncos were in pads today. No pads on the bottom half unless you're Evan Ingram. He likes to practice in the pants and pads every single day. But Broncos back in pads for the first time this week. And I thought it was an interesting practice. And Henry, this was the theory that I put together in my head. We saw more second and third team guys getting reps today than first team guys. That's the first time that I've noticed that in any practice. My guess is it's because Sean Payton reflected on last week and said, okay, we're going to get tons of reps for the starters in the joint practice, just like we did against San Francisco last week. Let's take a little bit of time off from for the starters today so that they can get so many reps tomorrow.
Yeah, and they were the only ones to do the 2-minute drill yesterday too. The starters were. And so that helps balance it out a little bit. And the starters got to do a couple of 2-point plays. The backups didn't do those, but then the backups did like the longer situational stuff. So I agree. I think that it almost kind of balances out over the past 2 days, and it kind of makes sense. Go a little bit lighter with the starters today before the big day tomorrow.
So there wasn't a whole lot to take away from the first team, but there was positive news. Bo Nix bounced back. We talked about yesterday, and we'll actually hear Bo's thoughts on yesterday's practice later in the show. But we heard about Bo's tough day yesterday. We talked about it. Today, he bounced back in limited opportunities. He looked a lot better. There were no interceptions. There was even a completion in the end zone. Maybe a 2-pointer, not really a touchdown. But what really stood out to me was the connection between Bo and Courtland Sutton. Bo completed every one of his passes to Courtland Sutton today. Courtland Sutton had three completions or 3 catches today. So anytime Bo wanted success, he went Courtland Sutton's way, and it worked out pretty darn well. Why don't we even take you into all of the completions from Courtland Sutton today?
Yep.
No 7-on-7s. They just went straight into team. You love to see it. No completions. Bo Nix dropped back once in the team period. We'll get to what happened to that, but no completions or even pass attempts in that first team period. Then the next one, Bo starts off a little shaky. Marvin Mims in coverage by Riley Moss. It looked like maybe Mims had a step toward the sideline and overthrow from Bo. There was just no shot that Marvin was going to get that. So it's like, geez, not this again. And then he comes back and says, I need a completion. Let's have Courtland Sutton go across the middle from the left to the right side. Gets about, 5, 7, 8 yards, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think I might be on the wrong page because I had that as a missed throw. But I think you're right.
Bo and Court being on the right page.
Exactly. They were definitely on the right page. And then they were on the right page because then the very next pass, Bo finds Court for 15 to 20 yards down the left sideline. Really good catch by Court. I mean, he was in very tight coverage. Did you see who was in coverage?
That was Jade Barron.
Yep,
and then actually the next play, Stidham comes in, and it's basically the same route. Pat Bryant on the cross, and Jade Barron, they got him on the same thing again.
But he was in great coverage.
He was nearby.
Court just went up and over him to catch it. So really good catch by Court. Love to see it. That's exactly what you have Court for, is for those 50-50 balls. They're more like 80-20 or 90-10 balls, and he did that. And then the final 2 passes from Bo in the day, I think they were doing 2-point conversion just because the ball was right on the 2, and it was, you got to have it. They were only throwing passes at this point. And he says, I have success thrown to Courtland's way, so I'm going to throw to Courtland despite Pat Surtain being in coverage. And Pat Surtain said, no, not against me. You are not completing a pass against me. Great coverage on a PBU from Pat. I wasn't able to fully see how it went down, but it looked like it was diving and Pat just got it.
Yeah, it was like a speed out, and Pat was able to get a hand on it.
And then so when Pat wasn't on court, the very next play, same 2-point conversion. Instead, it was Jaquan. Bo I think it was a designed run to the right to shorten the field, make a decision easier for Bo, and he was able to find Court as Court's just like sprinting out of bounds. He's able to get both feet in bounds and get that on Jaquan. So that was Bo's day right there. We just went through it in what, 3 minutes? 5 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
So question for the chat. If I say like I love seeing Bo and Courtland connect like that and build that connection, am I overreacting?
Yeah,
I'd
you
say
are,
yes.
because it's just practice, as we learned from the chat yesterday.
Yep.
We can't read anything into practice.
So I just gotta say like, okay,
that's exactly it. Move on.
Should we just end the show?
I think we ended the show yesterday at about the 8-minute mark too.
Yeah. So no, it was disappointing that they weren't able to connect on the big one in the preseason game, but it's clear that Bo Nix to Courtland Sutton is something we're going to be hearing for a long, long time, and that's a wide receiver 1 to me. Like a true wide receiver 1 is someone who your quarterback just says like, I need it. I'm going to him. I don't care what you do. I trust my guy over anyone else. And even him testing him with patent coverage is like feeds that narrative for me. So I've been, I don't know if the word is quite critical, but I'll just use it because I can't think of a better one. Critical of Courtland in the past for like sometimes not achieving all of those wide receiver 1 check boxes that I look for. That's a big one, though. And the fact that they signed him and the fact that Bo loves him so much tells me that they feel confident that he is a true blue wide receiver 1. And I just want to see that connection keep building.
They feel comfortable that Bo feels that way about him. And that's the most important thing, is giving Bo exactly what he wants. And he believes that Courtland Sutton is that. And that's when they decided after the season, okay, Bo loves him. If to help Bo's development and keep him, we're just going to continue to keep his number 1 receiver here for the next literally 5 years. And really quick, in the Twitter chat, just specifically to Donald, we're at every practice. We watch every play. Henry writes it down in his notebook. I write it down on my phone. We know exactly what's going on. We've got all the details as well. Just if there's any new people in here, we do go to every single practice.
Yes. That's why this notebook is worth a whole lot of money. Has all the secrets in it.
Do you have the ones from last year?
I do somewhere, yeah. I think we're going to get through that in a camp with this.
Any money because you just spill all the secrets for free right here.
That's true.
Some of them. Some of them. I mean, there's some good stuff. Like my favorite are some of those red zone plays, just because that's where Sean's really good. And then the walkthroughs, I'll kind of just draw them in here just because I'm curious. Because then you can go back and look later to see if they've run that before, if it's new.
Nice.
But that's an after camp type
some
project.
High level stuff.
Oh yeah, there's secrets in here.
Okay, so now that
Henry would be really easy to rob. So
I would be really easy to rob.
Now that we went through Bo's day, Henry, give me your other biggest takeaway from today.
That's a good question. Let's see. Jonathan Cooper was good, but that's probably not the biggest takeaway. Pat Bryant played pretty well. He made a couple good catches in the move the ball drill. Lavelle Bailey made the one PBU, but one PBU probably isn't enough to be the big takeaway. I'll stick with Pat. I think that's probably a good one.
Yeah, and you talked about the play that he had, just this exact same one that Courtland Sutton had over Jade. Pat just continues to look good. I think that the thing that really sticks out, and I think when you take things away from training camp, that it's okay to take things away from training camp, is when players stack days in camp and when players stack weeks in camp. We've talked about Troy Franklin. Actually, this might be the first day that, I don't have anything to say about him because it's always positive things to say, and I just don't think he did anything today, not in a bad way at all.
He wore different shoes.
Oh,
big shoe guy.
Might want to get those green shoes back on.
Yeah, or I don't know, maybe that was one of the 14 things that Sean's not the biggest fan of.
If it was, then he should switch back because this was the one day he wasn't awesome.
But he didn't do anything bad, did he? Yeah, it was a run heavier day today. But Troy Franklin, stacks days. Pat Bryant, stacks days, stacks weeks. I think there's maybe only been one show that we've been like, yeah, Pat Bryant actually had a couple of drops this day. Has not happened. So really impressive day from Pat as well. I like that one. Henry, you said you didn't want to go to Jonathan Cooper. That's where I'd go for my biggest takeaway outside of Bo and Courtland today. Jonathan Cooper, I mean, he's stacking years now. He might be the best pass rusher the Broncos have had this training camp because I think I said that last week, Henry, with Nik Bonitto. Either answer's probably pretty darn close to being right. Yesterday, Jonathan Cooper ruined practice. We went through it. I think he had a couple tackles for a loss, a couple sacks. Today, the very first pass play when Bo Nix dropped back, Jonathan Cooper sacked him so quickly that I kid you not, Jonathan Cooper stood next to Bo when Bo was still trying to find someone open in the pocket for 3 seconds before Bo just slowly scrambled away. And it
had to be a he was unblocked, misassignment.
No, he was blocked.
Yeah.
He came from the right side. I don't know if Mike McGlinchey was in there. I wasn't able to see that, but it was the starters.
So I can tell by all of the vagueness that the practice on the far field today.
It was on the far.
Exactly.
Just for you guys at home, there's 2 Broncos practice fields. And the media can only be on this side of the field. So there's all the media right here, practice field number 1 right here, practice field number 2 right here.
Yeah.
When they go on practice field number 2, the media doesn't get to go to the middle, which
No.
Yeah.
I would argue they should be able to. You just get to stand with, I guess, 60 yards across, another 10.
With players standing in between the two.
And then if something happens on the other side of the field, you're a good 140 yards away from what's happening with people blocking your.
And then they start with their team run period where everything's just going out the middle and you just have no idea.
Yeah.
You say RJ Harvey looks super bouncy through there. For all we know, 4 different guys had 2 hands on him.
I will say RJ Harvey did look good in those.
He looks bouncy.
From what we could see 65 yards away.
Totally.
165 yards away.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see who the right tackle was?
No, I didn't see at the beginning.
Okay, so I didn't see either, but there was someone blocking him, Ryan, and that's just what made this even more impressive, was just how fast he was there. Typically, the quarterback then runs out of the pocket, even if he gets sacked, and throws the ball to someone. Bo didn't even try because he just knew this play was so blown up by Jonathan Cooper. So that was really the only negative play. We talked about Bo's overthrow that he had to Marvin. He's not going to complete every single pass in a game, so I don't hold that against him. But Jonathan Cooper just continues to destroy practice for the Broncos. And it's making me think, could he lead the team in sacks? He's been so good in training camp. Henry talks about it. He had the quietest 10-sack season in Broncos history last year. Only 3 sacks off of Nik Bonitto. I love Nik Bonitto. The Broncos should give him, honestly, whatever he wants in terms of a contract extension. I just think that Jonathan Cooper has been that good and that's surprisingly that good that, man, I wouldn't be... The thought entered my mind today that he could lead the team in sacks.
It's really hard for me to know how to feel about this because nothing that happens in practice or preseason matters.
Point. Yeah.
So I'm not allowed to be excited about that.
Yeah.
Just the way I'm not allowed to be disappointed if things don't go well.
It's a great point. I'm sorry for trying to excite you when you can't be.
I am not allowed. No, I mean, Jonathan Cooper, maybe the most underrated Bronco?
I'd say so.
Vance Joseph talked about that after practice today. I want to tell you what he said and get your guys' perspective on that after I give a shout out to our friends over at American Financing. And if you're thinking about buying a home in Colorado, know that you are certainly not the only one, which means it's a buyer's market right now, which means you need the best team on your side when you want to buy a house. And that best team is our friends over at American Financing. You might find a home. You're like, I like that home. I need to put an offer together. Oh, but shoot, they're collecting offers in the next 24 hours. How do I do this? Our friends over at American Financing can make that happen in 24 hours or less. You can get pre-approved, and that is such a big thing. Also, here's the kicker. When you work with both American Financing and their partner, American Home Agents, you can save an additional 1% up to tens of thousands of dollars on your home loan. So make sure to check them out. Don't let the 20% down payment myth stop you. You could buy a home with as little as 3% down. And with down payment assistance programs available, getting into a home might be easier than you think. Give them a call at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334. ConsumerAccess.org.
And shout out to Bet365. People say don't bet on preseason football, but they're crazy.
Do bet on preseason.
Do it. It's so easy. Last week, the move was all the overs and all the underdogs. I think Thursday, the parlay was over 32.5, over 32.5, and over 34.5. Those are insanely low numbers.
That's wild.
The lowest this week is 36.5, and there's only one of those. And the games are in the 40s. So I think maybe an overcorrection.
Oh,
so early thought is
literally
unders, because again, like it's fluky stuff. Like the Bucs hit their over because they picked a pass off in a 20-point game, like with 50 seconds left, and took it to the house. Like there was a lot of that stuff. And again, it's preseason, so chaos happens. I'm in on the unders this weekend though, and you should be too. Bet365, an official partner of the Nuggets and Avs, They also have the early payout offer and breaking news with Bet365. New customers now get $150 in bonus bets. When you bet $5, win or lose, sign up, use the code DNVR365, deposit $10, and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Bet365 must be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you're somebody who has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
The Toyota chat's pretty lit right now. We appreciate everyone joining us today. Jesse, of course, Crumble Cookies, Todd, Gray, Donald with us. Keno, who also says, and really quick, if you're tuning in, hit us with a thumbs up. We really appreciate it. We got a lot of people tuning in and not many likes, so that would help us out. We got Keno, if you don't mind scrolling up just a little bit, says, is Jonathan Cooper a captain? If not, he should be. Jonathan Cooper is captain material all over it. The thing with the defensive side, typically they like to take 2 guys from defense, 2 guys from offense, 1 guy from special teams, really. Sometimes they do 2. Last year, the captains were Pat Surtain. It was his first time being a captain. And Alex Singleton, who's very much like Coop, like captain material. Both of those guys are returning. So do you take the captain away from one of them? Oh, you're saying yes.
I think it will happen, yeah. First of all, wait.
Who?
Does Sean have the players vote on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we know that
yeah.
matters in certain ways. I think that one of Talanoa, Hufanga, or Dre Greenlaw will end up with it, and I would guess it'll be Dre Greenlaw.
A new guy.
Yeah.
Even with this established defense?
Yep.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this was a defense that had no names, but this is a defense that had tons of names.
Totally.
Are people voting for Dre, though, if he isn't really practicing?
Well, I don't think practice is when you earn your captaincy.
It's the only time he's had so far, though.
But
you know?
I'm talking about, like, in the locker room, on the sidelines. those types of things. Maybe not. Maybe it's too early for Dre, but
I think next year one of those guys will be.
Okay.
It's tough to think. Like, who would you vote for?
Obviously, it's Pat. Yeah, Pat gets
one. It probably has to be.
Yeah.
And then that next one can go to any other starter.
And by the way, I don't want to take it away. I wouldn't take it away from Alex.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
He'd be your vote?
I think he would probably be my vote if I was on the team. He would probably be my best friend on the team. So,
also remember what he did last year. He played 80% of a game on a torn ACL.
Yeah, I mean he's a dog, and he's also just everyone's friend.
Yeah,
but he can also get fiery and yell and do that whole thing. So I don't know. I think it'd be tough. I also think that Pat Surtain, his play is captain-like, but he's not a rah-rah guy.
It's true.
He said he's getting his voice.
All right.
And I believe, I don't remember how we found out this story. I think Pat actually told us that when the Broncos were playing the Bears 2 years ago, Sean Payton's first year with Russell Wilson at quarterback, and they were down at halftime. It was it couldn't have been Pat, because someone else told us that it was Pat Surtain's speech at halftime that got the defense fired up and rallied up. So I agree. But maybe that's why you do have a vocal guy as your other captain.
Were both Talanoa Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw captains at one point for the 49ers?
At one point, maybe. But Fred Warner's for sure was a captain.
Yeah.
So that could have made it more difficult for Greenlaw. I mean, Bosa's $35 million. That the money doesn't necessarily have to mean captaincy, but typically it does.
I don't know how much his teammates.
So looks like
Bosa.
Yeah,
you might be right on that.
I don't see a C on Dre's chest in the Google image search that I'm looking for.
I would guess neither was ever a captain.
Oh, here we go. Oh no, that's Fred Warner. Dang.
And they always have defensive linemen.
Yeah.
Hufanga?
Right, maybe not.
Okay, so this gets to something that Vance said after practice today. He said Jonathan Cooper's, I think the word that he used was he's the fire starter on our defense. That's captain material right there. And then he also said, I've been trying to tell everyone how good Jonathan Cooper is for 3 years now. And you know what? I think Vance still needs to keep pushing the message, because I still think everyone sleeps on Jonathan Cooper. And I think that people are like, okay, he's making $15 million now. This is who he is. I don't think so. I'm not sold on him being where he's at. I think he can still get even better. And that's, again, why today the thought entered my mind that, man, number 0 could lead the Broncos in sacks this year, which would say a ton.
It's weird that Dre Greenlaw is the fire starter and Talanoa Hufanga is the first responder.
Jonathan Cooper.
Jonathan Cooper's the fire starter and Talanoa Hufanga is the first responder.
Yeah.
Those guys typically aren't on the same team.
It's good to have that
They're
balance.
kind of working against
it's good to
each
have
other.
balance.
Yes.
But if you think about it, Jonathan Cooper from the line starts the fire, and then Talanoa flies in, puts it out.
Could this be worked into a defensive nickname in some way? Because we have a clip from Pat Surtain talking about how good this defense is, and if Pat's right, then they'll have a nickname.
Engine 303.
Oh,
wow.
Okay. I like it. Were you there for Vance today?
I got some of it. I also was listening to Darren Rizzi, so it was kind of like half and half.
That's kind of
crazy.
Because
you have to choose, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy that you half chose a special teams coordinator.
Well,
Shout out to you for doing that.
Sometimes those press conferences, media availabilities aren't that interesting. And so when you have two things kind of going, you're more likely to get the good stuff, you know?
Yep.
Wait, you were listening to 2 things at once?
Yeah, that's actually one of the things that really drives Lexi crazy, which then drives me crazy. But I'll have like a baseball game on TV and a baseball game on my phone. And so like I know she doesn't like it, but so she'll go to like the other room and I'll be like, "Oh, this is fine." But then she'll say from the other room, like, "Can you stop that? It's really annoying." I was like, "You're not even here. I'm just doing it here."
Allie's the same way. It doesn't bother me either. Like I have
it's really nice.
Like directional hearing.
Yeah.
Or like I can just hear the thing that I'm looking at and tune out the other thing.
Like in one, you hear like, "Oh, there's the crack of the bat. I should go see like, oh, this guy's doing this." And then on the other, like you just pick what you're listening to at any given time.
Sometimes I'll even be like one football game on one TV, one football game on another TV, another football game on my laptop, and like watching a video on Twitter.
I have the totally opposite problem. I think I have a hearing problem already early in my life. So I drive my wife crazy by just like saying what all the time.
Ooh. Yeah. I used to say what every time someone talked to me. When I was a kid.
How did you get that? Oh, intentionally?
No, like it was just like my instant reaction to when someone said something, even if I heard them. And it was like a really bad habit that my mom forced out of me.
Oh, wow.
But she'd just be like, hey, like, what do you want for dinner? And I'd be like, what? It was really bad.
That probably is good that she forced that out of you. It might not be the best thing for podcasting.
Really bad. What?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that is tough.
Okay, so really quick, I did see the Toyota chat saying, deliver on the second half of this headline. And today at practice.
The chat loves to keep us honest on our headlines.
They do.
Yes, they do.
As they should.
And so there was an injury at practice. Damari Mathis walked off the field, did not return. We did not get to talk to Sean Payton after, so we did not get to a true injury update. But this practice, right after Damari walked off the field, it made me think like, boy, and I'm touching wood right now, but the Broncos have had a very, very clean training camp, considering this is the second to last practice of training camp. And you do have like Dre Greenlaw, who has not practiced much, but he really, really, really should be fine for camp or for the start of the season. Alex Singleton, he's back doing stuff now. But so for the most part, it's all good news, but we will get an update on Damari, who has made some good plays, but he's just in a really deep corner room right now.
Some of our like inside jokes go back 10 years.
It's touching wood a little too far.
Yeah, well, especially because you did it without showing, like you did it with your foot. So you're like, I'm touching wood right now.
Isn't wood.
If you went like, I'm touching wood right now, then people would be like, oh, I know what he's talking about.
That's the wood right there.
Real quick explanation of why we say that instead of knocking on wood is one of our UK listeners, literally 10 years ago, or upwards of 10 years ago, said like, touch wood. And we were like, what?
Yeah.
And apparently in the UK, that's what they say instead of knock on wood. So then we just adopted touch wood to the point where actually our guy, I think his name's Nate, Nate sent us little like wooden medallions, although they're not medallions because that would be metal, wooden circles that we could just have. So we used to have that. We put it on top of our podcast board before we ever did a show.
Yeah.
Touch it if you have to. Yeah. And then he even then made us ones that were more portable that we could put in our wallet. So you could never be like, oh no, there's no wood around me.
Just incredible. Because sometimes you don't always have wood around you, and you needed that piece to be able to touch. And I got mine still in my office. We have it? One in this studio too?
We probably have one.
It's around somewhere. I see it sometimes.
Speaking of shout outs, shout out to Caleb. He listens to our show every single day. He's part of the media down, I believe, in the Springs. He came up for a Broncos practice today. So shout out to Caleb for listening with us, or listening to us every single day with us, actually.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyways, Damari Mathis.
Yeah, so Damari Mathis walked off. Did you see what happened, Henry?
No.
He walked off, which is a good sign typically. Just like when Alex left practice a couple of weeks ago, he also walked off, and it was an encouraging sign. Dre walked off. It's when guys don't walk off that it's concerning. So hopefully he is going to be okay. And speaking of injuries, got another injury update on Nik Bonitto today. Let's get to that after I give a shout out to our friends over at End Credit Union. We're Broncos Country. This one's for you. End Credit Union, the official banking partner of the Denver Broncos, has created a Broncos checking account that's built for fans like us. I always thought it was so cool that my older brother had a Broncos debit card when I was growing up. And you can only get that with the official banking partner of the Broncos, and that is End Credit Union. So if you want that card, we got it on screen right now. You got to go to ent.com/DNVR. And the cool thing is, not only with Ent are they going to hook you up with that Broncos credit card, but they are also going to get you 10% off food and gear at game days at Empower Field and Mile High. So if you're going to games, This thing is going to get you discounts. It's going to get you the debit card that you can rep with Broncos on it, and the chance to win tickets to a home game simply by paying with your Broncos checking debit card. Every 10 swipes enters you for another chance to win. So if you want to bake like a Bronco, go to ent.com/DNVR. That's ent.com/DNVR to sign up for Broncos checking today. And credit unions insured by NCUA. Membership required. Annual percentage yield. Account requires associated Ent Broncos debit card.
Also, shout out to our friends over at HelloFresh. You may have heard of them, but they send chef-crafted recipes and fresh ingredients to your home. But this summer, they made their biggest menu upgrade yet. This isn't the HelloFresh you remember. They now have doubled their menu. You can choose from 100 options every week, including new seasonal dishes and recipes from around the world. You can dig into bigger portions that'll keep everyone satisfied. And it's an even healthier menu filled with high protein and veggie-packed recipes. HelloFresh is awesome. I don't know how some people do it where they're like constantly getting fresh produce and things of that nature to cook with. I just don't know who has the time for that. So HelloFresh will send it straight to your door so you can have it in the fridge ready to go. And even, still get that home cooked taste because you are cooking it right there in your home.
Yep.
So shout out to our friends over at HelloFresh. The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/Broncos10FM now to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. Shout out to our friends over at HelloFresh. HelloFresh.com/Broncos10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life.
And shout out to everyone that is tuning in with us. Really quick, before we get back into current Broncos news, just want to pass on the sad news that Broncos wide receiver Lionel Taylor has passed away at the age of 89. A very, very dominant player, very important part of the franchise in the 60s from 1960 to 1966. Held so many records for the Broncos.
Ring of Fame.
Yep, exactly. Ring of Famer.
We were all obviously too young to actually watch him, but...
Well, we weren't too young. We just weren't even in existence.
Okay, fine. We were too not alive to watch him.
Our parents were too young.
Weren't even a thought, honestly.
Yes, but having heard from family about him, everybody did really like him. And also, most recent player to lead the league in receptions for at least 5 seasons.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he did 5 seasons?
Yes.
And he's the most recent player.
I'm not going to lie. The Wikipedia is not super well written, but that is my understanding, yes.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Because you think of all the other great... But Jerry Rice never did?
Based on this Wikipedia page, I would say no, he did not.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to a legend.
Yes. He was always... He got to at least a game a year, too.
Yep.
He was always there.
He was always around.
Yeah.
Yep. So thoughts to his family and friends. Okay, let's get back to today and what happened on the field. Nik Bonitto didn't practice again today. Is there any concern, guys, with where you're at? So just to recap, Nik Bonitto has been practicing. He played in the game. We know he played in the game on Saturday because he absolutely dominated the 49ers. Honestly, could have easily had 3 sacks. Somehow his stat sheet says only 1 sack. That doesn't really make sense to me. I thought it'd at least be 1.5 or 2 sacks. But he just, potentially earned money for his next contract on a preseason game. And then we kind of see him limping off the field, limping on the sidelines, and it's uh-oh. No, let's hope he's okay. But then he does an interview with 9 News right after the game. They would never let an injured player, do an interview after a game if it was a serious injury. That was a really good sign. And then we don't hear anything. It seems like all is good. Then yesterday he doesn't practice, but we see him out there walking around but not practicing. Sean says he's fine. I think the words of Sean, he said he had a little thing pop up in his foot. So a little foot injury, I think, is what that translates to.
You would think.
And then Sean said he'll practice later this week. He'll practice tomorrow. Then today comes around. He didn't practice. We did see him out there for the first half of practice. He was walking around. I didn't see any limps. He looked totally fine. But are we any point of concern?
No. The little thing pop up in his foot reminds me of that virus that those rabbits have up in Fort Collins. Have you heard about this?
It's really creepy and scary.
Yeah.
I hope they're okay.
I hope it doesn't.
I don't
move
think
to
they
humans.
are.
Or at least not
it's
me.
so sad.
But yeah, these rabbits are just growing horns off of their faces.
No, they're
Which
like
is crazy.
tentacles.
Well,
Yeah. But
Kinda
I always
They're
thought,
like wet horns.
jackalopes.
that's where the myth came from.
Oh, yeah, because they're like the rabbits with the horns, and like you turn 13 and you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense.
They believe it was the origination of the jackalope myth came from this virus that these rabbits now have, because it's like kind of looks like they have horns, depending on where they're growing. Anyways, hopefully Nik Bonitto doesn't have that in his foot.
Yeah.
Would you rather have horns or tentacles?
Horns.
In your foot? Tentacles?
No, anywhere. You get to pick.
Well, where are the horns? Are they in the bottom of my foot? That sounds like
I'd
the
probably
worst
put them
thing
on my
ever.
head.
Well, yeah, I would too. Just like a ram.
I don't think there's a right answer here.
Yeah.
We can
anyways.
move on. Thing popping up in foot remind me of like the Chinese torture thing with the bamboo.
Ooh.
That's what came to my
also,
mind.
hopefully not that.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned about Nik Bonitto. I think I've been through enough of these preseason training camps throughout multiple football teams to know that sometimes when a guy that valuable has a little thing flare up, you're just like, okay, bubble wrap time. Let's be extra cautious today. I'm sure if the Broncos had a playoff game today, Nik Bonitto would be playing in it, but they don't need him out there for this practice.
Completely agree. That's why I don't need to see Nik tomorrow. I don't need to see Nik in the second preseason game. In fact, it's to that time now. Last year in the preseason, I don't believe Pat Surtain played one single game. And Pat did play this past game. I don't need to see Pat again. I don't need to see Zach Allen. I don't need to see Nik Bonitto. This is the time where anyone that's maybe injured, you take off the field, but also anyone that just you have no questions about who they are as a player, you just take off the field. So I don't want to see, we'll probably see Alex a little bit tomorrow, but I don't need to see him. I definitely don't want to see Dre Greenlaw. We can take Hufanga off too. I mean, the starting defense, I don't really need to see them tomorrow. I saw what they did last week in the joint practice. That's not going to be the case. We're going to see a lot of these starters, but I hope we don't see Nik Bonitto tomorrow.
It's very old school of you.
Because
the old school way of thinking being rest guys early in the season. Because now the new school is back too.
Yeah,
we
it's
play
really
everybody.
confusing. It keeps
callous.
But I'm confused because Sean's an old school guy, but he wants to play everyone. But then he didn't play Pat Surtain last preseason, but now he's playing him, and we know that he plays
the new
starters.
school way of thinking.
But that's the old school because he's Bill Parcells.
Yeah, it's confusing because the old school and new school keeps changing. Because old, you know what? Let's not do this again.
We've done too much.
One.
Yeah.
There's some people like theorizing that he's holding in.
Yeah.
Which is that a new term to this year?
No.
Okay.
No.
I feel like
it is.
I had never heard hold in.
This is new school though. This is a new school thought. Is the hold in a couple of years.
I don't think that's the case at all. I will say I wouldn't blame him, just given the situation of like he was like, okay, yeah, I'll be a team player, I'll be out there, and then like had a little thing pop up in his foot, and he's like, wait a minute, what am I doing? I should protect my body. So either way, hopefully he's healthy, he's good. They get the contract done. Let's move on.
I've heard some chatter that it's going to happen before the season, and it could happen any day now. It would make sense with the injury, that the slight injury, that it would happen sooner than later. Because Ryan, I completely agree. I'm Nik Bonitto. I'm invincible. And then something a little bit pops up, and I'm like, whoa, let's just take this cool. Let's get 100% before we get back, and maybe in the process, there's a new deal as well.
I want to clip that one. I'm Nik Bonitto. I'm invincible.
Yeah.
That would look good on Twitter.
Put that next to you saying Nik Bonitto might be the best football player in the world.
Yeah.
I think that take is trending better. Still probably not good, but
it is
slowly improving.
And I like how you don't even remember the origination of your take enough to defend it, because you were just like, there are moments where it's like, wow, Nik Bonitto might be the best player in the world.
Yeah.
And then I just turned that into Henry thinks Nik Bonitto is the best football player in the world.
And I just trust you enough that when I don't remember something, I just believe it's correct.
Dang.
It's like, yeah, that kind of sounds like something I would say.
Okay, so anything else you want to hit from practice today, Henry?
The Blake Watson fumbles.
Oh, yep.
Again, as the president of the Blake Watson Believers Club, yes, I blame the quarterback for these. So it's back-to-back plays. The first is a toss. Sam Ehlinger tosses it to him, hits him kind of right in the chest, and he doesn't catch it.
Yeah.
Probably too much spin.
Yeah, slam Ehlinger. Slam Ehlinger. He slammed it right into his chest.
And then the very next play, a fumbled exchange. And again, through my binoculars, looked like right in the gut. But again, they're not the best binoculars.
Yeah.
They're pretty good binoculars, though.
Yeah, I got them for Christmas.
Yeah,
you have binoculars out there?
Oh, of course. I can bring a second pair for you tomorrow if you want.
You wouldn't believe how many people have binoculars out here. I feel like I'm at a bird watching festival.
Yeah. Actually, somebody asked to use my binoculars today.
Really?
Yes. Outside the company, even.
Wow.
Anybody inside the company wouldn't want those.
Wow. That's what you were doing.
Did you say no?
No, I said yes. I said, oh, yeah, anytime. and then Tyler Columbus and Brandon Stokely thought I was super cool.
Wow.
Sharing my binoculars with people.
I'll pass on the binocs. Hopefully we get... Oh, I guess it's a luck of the draw whether we're going to get offense or defense in front of us tomorrow.
Oh, it's true. Yeah. We'll get one.
I'm an offense guy.
How can you not be?
Yeah.
Oh, but you're a Kyler Murray guy.
I'm a Kyler Murray guy.
I think... See, I have this thing where I buy the quarterback stock when it's a little bit low, and I've now bought the Kyler Murray stock, and I think that might be a mistake.
So
in real investments and in quarterback and other player investments, I just buy and hold forever.
Yep. And if it tanks, it tanks.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, you're
what am I
gonna
do? Sell it for a penny?
Yep.
And that's how Borders got me.
Last week, typically the way joint practices are formed is two head coaches like each other, and so they. Two head coaches have respect for each other, and so they come together and say, let's do this because we trust your team, we trust you. I wasn't surprised that Sean and Kyle Shanahan felt that way about each other. Made sense. I'm a little surprised that Sean feels that way about Jonathan Gannon.
I think Sean just wanted more joint practices one day.
And he regrets it
so
now.
He started calling up everyone that they were playing and was like, hey, want to do joint practices? And then they both said yes. Or it was like, you ever like try to like make plans and you invite multiple people and then both say yes?
Oh, yeah.
That could have been it. And he's like, sent out just copy and paste text like, hey, do you want to do joint practices? And they both responded yes. And he was like, oh,
Yeah. That's tough.
He's only sending one text next year.
Yeah, exactly.
I think.
Or he sends a group text to the teams that he's playing in the preseason. And he's like, first one to respond gets joint practice.
Do you think the Saints might have said no to him? Because that's the Broncos' third preseason game.
I don't think anyone does joint practices the third preseason game.
Yep. And I think the reason you really want to do the Cardinals is because that's your one home practice. And typically a home coach has more control.
Yep.
So everything's set up in your way and you can't tweak it to fit the new team.
Sean will have more control.
He loves that.
Speaking of control on the home field, Kay Adams came to Denver yesterday. Unless you have any other notes from Broncos today.
Aaron Gordon and Payton Watson there. Did we talk about that?
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Long sleeves.
Yes, he had long sleeves.
Huh.
To say cool, I guess.
Also took a picture with Pat Surtain while practice was still going.
Maybe Blake Watson was nervous because his brother Payton was at practice.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good point.
I might be totally wrong. I almost think Blake Watson has a cool relative.
Oh.
Wow.
Get on the Wikipedia during
famous?
Yeah. I won't keep it open-ended. I almost thought something was there.
I'm going to look.
Interesting. Okay, so Kay Adams came to Broncos practice yesterday. Kind of a surprise pop-up for her. And we know that she's able to get maybe more out of Sean Payton.
How?
Than what?
How is she able to get more out of Sean Payton?
They're friends.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Do you have any theories?
I just think she has great questions.
Yeah.
She does.
Great journalist. And so she talked to Sean for 20 minutes. She talked to Courtland and Bo at the same time for 20 minutes. She talked to Pat Surtain for 20 minutes. So we kind of compiled the best parts of it and want to react to these interviews, see what you guys think about what Kay was able to get. And let's do that after I give a shout out to our friends over at Monarch Money. I'm just dishing out good financial tools for you today, and this one is a fantastic one because Monarch Money helps you when finances get messy. And when you get to like 25 years old, finances just instantly get messy. You're like, no, it's never going to happen to me. And then all of a sudden, you're paying for things every single day. You have subscriptions. You have maybe some investments. You have some credit cards, and you're just like, I can't keep this all together. Yep. So then you go to Monarch Money because they are able to combine wherever your money is. They're able to put it in one place. It's essentially on your phone. It's your financial advisor.
I have to jump in here. Speaking of financial advisors, this is a real life story that happened within the last 24 hours. Had a meeting with my financial advisor yesterday. We were talking about this sort of stuff, and he goes, you should get this app called Monarch.
Wow. Whoa. So recommended by financial advisors. It's also recommended by over 30,000 people that have given them 5-star reviews, the top recommended personal finance app, named Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025. Get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use code DNVR over at Monarch Money for 50% off your first year. That's 50% off with using that code DNVR over at monarchmoney.com. Did you tell your financial advisor to tell people to use code DNVR for 50% off?
Told him to watch my show.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
he would know that I'm already a big believer.
Uh-huh. And also, shout out to our friends.
You drive this.
Oh, Toyota.
Yeah.
Over at Toyota.
Shout out to our friends over at Cars.
Yes,
the best car.
Best cars.
Yeah.
Yes, the very best cars. The fastest cars, the most fuel-efficient cars, and for certain, the cars that have the most low and zero-emission vehicles combined compared to every other automaker. 17 different models have available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. 16 models are hybrid vehicles, with the Tundra iForce Max hybrid truck being a cool one of them. Also, the rest of them also cool, but that one in particular, very cool. Toyota SUVs take command on the road and on the trail, so you can explore the road less traveled without sacrificing smooth city rides in SUVs like the RAV4 and the Grand Highlander. Great for the mountains, of course. Great for Colorado because of that. And you can visit your Front Range Toyota stores, a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East, Aurora, Stevenson Toyota West, and Lakewood. Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places.
All right, and let's go places. Let's go out to the Up and Adams show.
Real quick.
Yes.
Blake Watson's brother, Brad Watson, was on the same defense as Justin Sternad at Wake Forest. So that's why I thought he was
Famous
cool.
relative indeed.
I hope I didn't underwhelm anybody.
That's a cool brother.
Yes. That's what was, yeah.
And Payton Watson, right?
And also his other brother, Peyton Watson.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why he was at practice
8 balls,
today.
they
Brought
call
his
the taller
friend,
brother.
Aaron Gordon.
Yes, he got all the height.
It's crazy. With Pat Surtain, who's the biggest cornerback that you can have, standing next to those guys, he looks tiny.
Bo Nix did himself no favors being the shortest person in that photo.
That is true. Oh, is it been released?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Even Pat looks so small next to those guys.
It's crazy. Okay, so let's get to this first clip. This is Kay, Press, and Sean on the Super Bowl talks. Let's hear how much she's able to get out of him.
You have such confidence. Listen, last year I was here in this very seat giving you the same coffee and saying it was underselling and over-delivering. I got the vibe that you wanted it to be like a secret, what you guys were building towards. Now I feel like you got a little look in your eye there, Mr. Payton, and I feel like you've said things about your quarterback, this team, what they're capable of, being a Super Bowl contender. What is the one facet, like the one little piece of that complete puzzle that gives you the most confidence in what this team's evolved to that makes you a contender?
I think we've improved on what was already a very good defense. And we've improved quite a bit. And then offensively in the run game, and then the first thing everyone looks at, even free agents, when they look at deciding on teams, is do they have a quarterback that can, and I think the people that have seen Bo play in person in our division have seen, his skill set, his feet, his ability to get us into the right plays. And then I think it gets back to a series of acquisitions, not just one specific. And you have to be comfortable, like the first meeting with our team in the off-season program, and we're not into phase 1, 2, and 3. Like, we'll spend 6 weeks in phase 1 where they're just over here lifting and running. And then when it comes time for the OTAs, we'll move into phase 3. But that first team meeting was, hey, I don't want to be uncomfortable or phased at all by discussing what it's like to play in the Super Bowl, what it's like to win a division. And make no mistake, and with all due respect, what Kansas City's been able to accomplish has been remarkable. So there's a tremendous amount of respect there for their run. And so I've always in this league thought of the 3 goals is win your division, best seeding possible, win a Super Bowl.
Those are your 3 phases.
And I just think that, yeah, on a near, like, and then I would say for us, like, more specifically is starting fast this year. You know, we didn't back 2 years ago. A year ago we started 0-2 and then bounced back. But us starting fast at home and not putting ourselves in a hole where maybe week 16 could be played for something differently than it should be because of your start.
Thing that really stuck out to me, he talked about the fast starts. Broncos absolutely should get to a fast start this year with playing the Titans at home, and then you get to play Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson on the road. Give me either of those. That should help with the fast start. But the thing that really stuck out to me was he said, we really improved our defense. And then he said, we really, really improved our defense from last year. He just expects us to be the best defense in the NFL, which is totally okay. But that's no longer like us expecting that from the outside. That's the head coach expecting that, which I think should tell you a lot about how he views this defense.
Well, I think it also tells you a lot about how he views 2.5 players, because that's all that's changed on the defense.
Alex Singleton is the half?
Well, I was thinking Jade.
Oh, Jade. Yeah. That's so fair. Yeah.
It's Dre Greenlaw, it's Talanoa Hufanga, and it's Jade. Those are like, there's definitely 2 new starters, and there's potentially one other one. That tells you that just how highly he thinks of those guys, and I think it really boils down mostly to Talanoa and Dre and just what he believes in them. I think they actually talked about that with K. But, I mean, it's hard to say that when you didn't, like, flip the whole roster. You know, like, when he says that, it tells you exactly who he thinks so highly of.
And I think, just like anything else in life, if you don't think you can do something, you're not going to be able to do it, you know? And so if he doesn't think that they're going to have the best defense, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Also, side note, good question, long question, made me flash back to Saturday at the press conference when Sean was asked, 2-sentence question, last year your team improved with 2 more wins than the previous season. Is your team better than last year? And his response was, so I'm going to pretend that wasn't part of the question. The question was, is this team better than last year? Which I think is, because sometimes you throw that unnecessary weird context in there, just called it out. And when I was listening to the long question, I was like, he didn't do that.
And
he didn't say it again.
You know what's funny is if this had been a home game, the Broncos would have transcribed it. So it would have totally taken everything out of that. But shout out to the 49ers for transcribing exactly how it went down.
I love that, though, because you don't need to tell Sean that his team improved 2 wins year over year.
The response, so I'm going to pretend that wasn't part of the question. The question was, is this team better than last year?
That is so good. So, Ryan, you talked about how Sean went and talked about Dre Greenlaw and Talanoa Hufanga. He did that after he was asked about, does this Broncos team remind you of any of the Saints teams that you had? And I don't remember where this one starts, but there's a chance that this is Kay pressing him to talk about the 2009 Saints team. Actually, that's exactly what this is. So he's asked that question, and he says...
And then she pressed you on Twitter.
We'll get to that, because that was freaking absurd.
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't expect you to have that hot of a take on it.
So she asked him, does this remind you of Saints teams? And he says, well, 2011 was really good. And I think 2011 might have been his favorite team over the Super Bowl 2009 team. So he was giving that as like a compliment. And then she's like, well, no, how about the 2009 team? The one that won the Super Bowl. And he's like, well, I don't know, the 2011 team, really good. And she goes, well, any similarities between the 2009 team?
Oh, and I was just going to say, I think Saints fans view 2011 the way Broncos fans view 2013. Or even 2012.
Yeah.
Right. 2012,
That's really good point.
Both of those teams were really great, but like Broncos, some Broncos fans will tell you 2012 was the best Broncos team of the Peyton Manning era.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what Sean said to the question about, is it similar to the 2009 team?
Remind you of 9 at all?
Yeah, there's some similarities, because here's what happened in 9. There were some veteran free agents that arrived in key positions already with a young, talented draft class, and it wasn't just the young veteran additions. It was like the juju they brought, the leadership. Like when you're around Hufanga and Greenlaw, like
I still don't believe you have them. Like when I saw them, I'm like, I can't believe preseason game. I'm like, how did you get them? It's so insane to think about.
That they bring something very intentional, and it's very serious, and it's very And so the better teams that we've ever been a part of have all taken over and run themselves. And this is one that can do that.
Okay, you decide where you want that Lombardi. When all is said and done, I just love that. I feel like you're not giving me like the glare when I'm saying you're a contender. You're not.
I'm comfortable
it's
with
okay.
that.
You're comfortable with that.
He really went in on the glare at the end there.
Yeah, similar to the multiple questions about where are you going to put the Lombardi Trophy.
I'm not going to allow us to talk about 2001 to 2009 and just the 1 through 9.
Yes,
I was so confused as well.
Yeah.
9.
That was weird.
as I said, my sister was born in 5.
It just doesn't feel right.
No, it gives you the wrong impression.
So he said she was able to get out of him that she sees similarities between this team.
He sees
Similarities between this team and the 2009 Super Bowl Saints team. So I tried to give her credit on Twitter, and I said Sean Payton sees similarities between this team and the 2009 Super Bowl winning Saints. Well, then she quote tweeted me again. I'm just pumping up her show. She quote tweeted me and said, this is a stretch, LOL. He said 2011, exclamation mark.
Careful now. This is friend of the program, Kay Adams.
It is.
I love Kay. I'm pumping up her show.
Yeah.
And I had to listen to it 500 times to be like, he's saying 9. Doesn't that mean 2009?
Yeah.
You're saying 9. And then so I had someone else send me the interview that she posted on YouTube. This one was Sean. Can you guys read the headline of this interview for me, please?
Broncos coach Sean Payton on confidence in contending. Bo Nix is evolving and similar to 2009 Saints.
So wait, her headline is similar to 2009 Saints?
I can assure you she didn't write her own headline. But that is, yes, you're vindicated.
I just felt like the popular girl at school was, trying to humiliate me.
Yeah.
And I was hurt. I was beat down
That's
last night.
always a tough moment.
Yeah.
When I see Bo Nix is evolving,
You
with
should have responded
evolving,
like, this is bullshit, Kay.
Exactly. You should. When I see Bo Nix is evolving with evolving in all caps, I just think of like Godzilla. Like someone on the street being like, it's evolving.
Or, like Charmander to Charizard.
Yeah, exactly.
That is too good.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where like, okay, she said, did they remind you of any of your former teams? And he's like, yeah, similar to 2011 in a lot of ways. And what about 2009? Are there similarities? And if the answer is yes, the answer is yes. Like, sure, you had to press him to go there, but that's in some ways the style
in the end,
here.
The answer that we just watched was about the similarities between this year's Broncos team and the 2009 Saints.
Yes. Thank you.
But I feel like, I don't know. I always think about, why, like maybe Sean afterwards was like, I wish you didn't make me do that, like make those comparisons. And then she like felt weird about it. But
my guess is he probably didn't say that to her after.
Probably not.
One more that I really want to get to. I hope we have time for it. Let's hear Pat Surtain talking about how good this defense is. Listen at the very beginning and then listen at the end because he drops 2 pretty substantial things in here.
How good is this defense?
It's unreal. I mean, I think we have the ability to be mentioned in history amongst the greats. But, you can't talk about it. You got to be about it. And that's with putting in the work every day. Everybody flying around to the ball, making plays. But with all personnel, you talk about Zach Allen, you talk about Nik Bonitto, Jonathan Cooper, DJ Jones, JFM, Malcolm Roach. Then you go to the linebackers, Alex and Dre. New addition in the secondary, you already know. But when you have that much talent on the defensive side, the sky's the limit. Now it's all about how can we control our own destiny and make sure we put out good tape and put out, good ball each and every week. So
best in the league going into the season?
I believe so.
You went up that and went right to the history books, which I love to see. How good is this defense?
Yeah, as Kay said, she was like, how good's the defense? And he went to, this can be an all-time defense, one for the history books.
Again, if you don't think you can do it, you're not going to do it.
True. You know the story of the 4-minute mile?
Did he say, I think I can do this, and so then he did it?
Well, no.
The female or the male version?
This is the male version I'm referencing.
Yikes.
It was just that it had never been done. There was one specific guy who was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And he couldn't do it. So eventually he was like, I guess I can't do it. I guess it just can't be done. And everyone just accepted like it's impossible.
Wow.
And then someone did it. And then right afterwards he did it. And then a bunch more people did it.
Everybody did it.
You just gotta believe.
Exactly.
You gotta believe.
You do.
We're gonna finish this show in overtime. Go to thednvr.com. Why I asked you about the other version. So a female went out to set out the record this year to break a 4-minute mile.
Oh, I did hear about this.
She didn't break it. I think her time was like 4:06 something, but she broke the world record. And I'm just like, what are her emotions in that moment for breaking the world record? But the whole thing was about getting a 4-minute mile. I just hope she enjoyed the moment.
Perfect time for this one. Shoot for the moon. You might reach the stars.
Perfect.
A lot of good life advice here at the end of this one.
We're really doing good
and
today.
Speaking of good advice, let's go out to the super chats and hit one from Spencer Niles, who says, when is the uniform schedule coming out? I need week 11 to be throwbacks. Who do the Broncos play week 11? Quick.
The Raiders, the Chiefs, the Chargers,
Commanders.
the
Commanders
Cowboys.
is 13. Bye week is 12.
Chiefs.
It's Chiefs. Yeah.
Oh, I was right.
Yeah, it's Chiefs. Maybe.
Nailed it.
I think in week 10 or 11, they play the Raiders Thursday Night Football, then they play the Chiefs. I think one of those we're definitely going to have a throwback.
Nice.
Uniform schedule about 3 weeks ago, Damani Leach said it was coming out soon, so I'd imagine it's coming out soon. Patrick says, love DNVR and love this team. So psyched for the season. What's one bold prediction for this season from each of you?
This would be a great question for tomorrow. I think Troy Franklin leads the team in receiving yards.
Woo! I wish I had mine.
If you want bold, that's what I'm saying. Great question for tomorrow.
I would like to say that Nik Bonitto leads the league in sacks.
Okay.
Woo, I love that. And I'm going to say something that I've been saying. I think Evan Ingram. I just want to see how bold I want to be right now.
Yeah. No, be bold.
You said you've been saying it. So stick to your guns.
Oh, then I was going to go further, but I'll keep it tame for now. I'll say 10 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards. It's the first time he's had a 1,000-yard season. First time he's had 10 touchdowns. He's going to do both of those this year.
Jerry Rice led the NFL in receptions twice. You would have thought it'd be more.
Yes, you would
Yeah.
have.
Shout
That's
out Lionel Taylor.
Crazy.
Jerry Rice.
Yes.
Overrated?
That's what they're saying.
Wow. And then Nick's out for Harambe says, I know I hopped in the chat to mostly make jokes, but I just want to say how much I love the show and respect you guys. Living my dream. Can't wait to meet y'all one day when I make it out to Colorado.
Yeah.
Thank you. We really appreciate that.
There was another question in there. Thank you, by the way, Nix.
Yes, Nix.
Out.
They
Mr.
said,
Harambe.
do you guys carpool to camp together? And I already know the answer is no. And I think that my generation's out on carpooling.
I think so as well.
And I don't understand why. I think it might have to do with the whole human interaction thing.
I haven't thought about carpooling
Yeah.
since I was like 7.
They even have
like
the lane,
every time
right?
I'm going up to Boulder with Jake
They
and
used
Scott,
to.
I'm like, all right, like what time are we meeting? Like, if you guys want to just come to my house, I'll drive up. And like, there's always an excuse of like, oh, I got to do something after, so I'll bring my own car.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants to carpool anymore.
Yeah.
I think probably the last time. Well, so I carpooled with Henry a week ago.
When my car didn't work.
Yeah, so like
It was that or
forced
what?
to. It was very lovely.
It was lovely.
But I think the last time before that was with you.
Yeah.
And I think
Wow.
actually a couple of times we set up like a pick you up, drop you off system.
It's great.
Yeah.
Maybe we should bring that back. School
Like-
bus style. Go pick up
Oh,
Nick.
I
Go
have-
pick up
I have
RG.
some- I have something going on that day.
It's good for
I
the
can't,
environment.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Good. It saves you money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's literally no reason not to, but hey.
Especially with Dove Valley being all the way out there. Also, if you got... someone pointed out in Kay Adams' YouTube description that they spelled Inglewood wrong in
Yes.
her interviews.
Oh.
Ingel.
Well-
We're not the only ones who do those things. Feels good.
It wasn't the E or the I situation?
No.
No,
Like,
it was
it
an
was
E
a
in
California
California.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's going to do it for us today.
Very different Inglewoods.
Yes, very different. Tomorrow, huge day. Arguably the biggest day on this show of training camp. we're all going to be out there for Broncos Cardinals. Cardinals are already setting up in the Broncos facility now. They're going to be here. We'll see if the Broncos dominate the Cardinals. And then tomorrow, right around 2 p.m., we're going to go straight from practice right to the bar to have the recap and let you know what happened. So stay tuned right around 2 p.m. tomorrow. We'll see you then.
We all silly like the mayor.